At the Games, sponsored by GMC, we are professional grade.
Now, one of the biggest storylines begins to play out today in figure skating with Alyssa Liu coming out of retirement to compete once again. Let's check back in with our Corey Miller on what we can expect from her. Hi, Corey.
Hey, Michelle. The team event for figure skating is already underway. Chalk and Bates, the ice dance team, have already competed. They finished at the top of their section. And you mentioned Alyssa Liu. We talked about her. You and I talked about her a lot before I left for the Olympics. And people are going to be talking about her all Olympics long because she's one of the best stories of the Olympics. Let's hit some practice video from Alyssa earlier in Milan this week. Now, she's such a great story because at just 16 years old, she already made an Olympic team in Beijing. Then she went away and retired for 2 years before deciding to make a return, and what a return it has been. She's been a world champion, and she was just second in the U.S. Championships in St. Louis a few weeks ago. She has rediscovered her joy for skating, and everybody is glad to see it, including a face I think you'll know quite well.
Oh, it's incredible. I think everyone was excited to hear her come back because, you know, at 16 and retiring, there was just, oh, there's a little bit more left in you, Alyssa, come on. I was like so sad when she retired, and to see her come back, and the reason for it, you know, she said she found the joy again. She realized that it was still really fun for her, and she showed that. Alyssa's from the same area in Northern California where I'm from, and so I've seen her come up as a young skater, and you know, small words here and there with her at different events when I've seen her, but she's just a great kid.
It was really cool to sit down with Kristi Yamaguchi, who you just saw there, 1992 gold medalist when she was in town in December for the Musial Awards, getting an honor for sportsmanship. Now, I'm outside the San Siro Stadium. In just a few hours, this place is going to be absolutely rocking for the opening ceremonies. They're testing some microphones and sound and lights in there. I just heard something going on. I couldn't quite tell what it is. They keep everything pretty secret until you actually get to see it on TV. I can say Andrea Bocelli and Mariah Carey are going to be included in the music selection for tonight, so it should be a great show.
Oh, I'm so excited. And yes, Kristi Yamaguchi, I had bangs just like her in 1992 because she was so amazing. I do want to ask you, though, about the team itself because, you know, we think about Alyssa Liu, Amber Glenn, Isabeau Levito. How are people still talking about just the possibility that we could really sweep, you know, in figure skating?
Listen, everybody I've talked to says the talent and the hype has never really been higher. You've got Ilya Malinin, the quad god, expected to compete in the team competition as well, teasing a possible quintuple axel here at the Olympics. Nobody's ever seen that, and nobody's ever even seen a quadruple axel, which he already does with ease. He did a backflip on the ice in front of Snoop Dogg the other day. You should have seen Snoop Dogg's face in the video. It was quite priceless, seeing somebody backflip on the ice. But yeah, this figure skating team is absolutely loaded. Could be coming back with a lot of medals back to the United States.
Oh, it's so exciting. Okay, so I do have a kind of a vanity question. Alyssa Liu got her hair done. She had the halo done in St. Louis. Does she still have the halo now?
I believe she does. In that video we played, if I remember correctly when I edited that, I think she does have the hair still. She said she adds like a new notch in it, you know, every couple months or so, and I think the one she got in St. Louis was the last kind of band she was going to get done before she headed here over to the Olympics. So a little bit of a St. Louis story in one of our athletes competing over here that everybody's going to be really excited about.
Yeah, it kind of gives a new definition to St. Louis roots. You know what I mean? So anyway, Corey, looking forward
I see what you did there.
You see what I did there. Thank you so much for your reports this morning. So much fun. And I can't wait for you to give us your report on the opening ceremony. That's going to be awesome. Thanks so much. Okay, it is one of
At the Games, sponsored by GMC, we are professional grade.
Welcome back. Your time right now is 6:10. Well, it has been a busy start to the Olympics in Italy with an event-packed weekend.
Our sports anchor, Corey Miller, is joining us live from Milan to catch us up on the big story headlines. Good afternoon, Corey.
Hey, good afternoon. I'll tell you what, when I watch the Olympics on TV, it seems like there's so much going on. I'm missing something. I can tell you that when you're here, it's like that only about 10 times. We had a lot of stories over the weekend. Let's hit the video. We got to start with the heartbreak, unfortunately. Lindsey Vonn making her comeback, the story of the Olympics, going on a ruptured ACL, and she crashes right out of the gate in the downhill, broke her leg, had to be airlifted off the mountain. Her Olympics is over. Good on her for even giving it a try with a ruptured ACL. But it wasn't all heartbreak yesterday. Let's have some fun. Team figure skating for USA won a gold medal. It's the second year in a row the United States has won gold in the team event. Big performances by the pair of Ellie Kam and Danny O'Shea, who I'm actually set to interview about an hour from now. Amber Glenn and Ilya Malinin brought it home. The USA won by just 1 point over Japan. Here's what the new gold medalist had to say afterwards.
I feel so great. This event was just so on fire. It was like the environment, just the atmosphere, the energy, the crowd, all of it was there, and it really felt like Olympic ice.
Honestly, I'm just really proud of how all of us did. We truly fought, and I saw the passion, you know what I'm saying, and I felt it. And man, I'm gonna just say I love team events.
Honestly, this is indescribable. I'm so proud of us. It came down to every point mattering tonight, and I'm so proud to have this moment on Olympic ice and be able to support a team and contribute in a way that made a difference.
So that was last night. Tonight I am heading to women's hockey once again. They're trying to move to 3-0 here at the Olympics. They will face Switzerland this evening.
So much happening. I cannot believe the Team USA, just 1 point. Yeah. I mean, that is insane.
Crazy.
But this isn't it for the figure skaters, right? They've got more to do later.
Yeah, everybody calm down. Figure skating's not over just because they handed out a gold medal last night. I know some people were probably worried about that. There's a lot of figure skating left. In fact, the ice dancing pair of Chalk and Bates are going today. Ilya Malinin is going tomorrow. Everybody has their individual competitions left to go, which get a lot more spotlight than the team event had, and that was a big spotlight, so the intensity is only going to ratchet up as we move along for figure skating.
I love Corey. Everyone calm down, relax. Corey, question, now that the games, I mean, it was a really eventful weekend. The games, this is the first full week. What are you feeling with the atmosphere? I'm sure it's unlike any other.
Hey, that's a great question, because I was here a few days before even the opening ceremony started, and I'm kind of like, you know, it doesn't really feel like the Olympics yet. That has totally flipped. It definitely feels like the Olympics. A lot of excitement everywhere. More people, more signage, just kind of more flair with everything as you're going along. So it definitely feels like the Olympics, and it's only going to get more intense as we move into the medal rounds of some of these hockey games and figure skating and speed skating.
Yeah, we want to be on that leaderboard.
Yes, we need to get on it. Well, Corey, I know you're about to go get lunch, I think, after we wrap up with you after 7 o'clock hits. So hopefully you found your pizza spot. We'll check in with you in a bit.
Well, as we continue to focus on what's happening
At the Games, sponsored by GMC. We are professional grade.
One of the most anticipated Winter Olympic events gets started today. That is men's individual figure skating.
And our Corey Miller is here with why it's actually going to be an emotional night for one of Team USA's competitors. Hi, Corey.
Hey, Mercedes. Yeah, a lot of storylines to follow tonight. Of course, the quad god, Ilya Malinin, competing again. He already has 1 gold medal these Olympics in the team event, but even he would say he didn't do his best. I'm expecting something special tonight as he gets his short program underway. And I mentioned the emotional part of this. There is definitely an emotional story tonight as well. Maxim Naumov is competing for the United States. He is a first-time Olympian, and of course by now you probably know his story. He lost his parents in that plane crash in D.C. last year that killed a number of prominent figures in the figure skating world. Naumov is joining his parents as Olympians, though, as an Olympic dream he's had since a child. They all talked about it growing up. He made the Olympic team in St. Louis. That's where I got to talk to him about honoring his parents as an Olympian.
I mean, just having 2 Olympians as your mom and dad, like that's unbelievable. Like that was I took that with so much pride, you know. always saying to my friends, like, yeah, my parents are Olympians and all that. And, you know, it meant so much to me. Like, our life really revolved around the sport. And, you know, the Olympics were such a big part of our family in general. So, you know, coming full circle is just, it makes my heart happy. I hope and I pray, you know, I hope they're proud of me. You know, we did it together, all those years of hard work and just unbelievable sacrifice, and, you know, everything that led up to this moment. We did it as a family. We did it as three.
Obviously, the emotional part of this is a big storyline, but this young man is a tremendous skater in his own right. Finished second in St. Louis, and he'll look to have a big performance tonight in Milan.
It really takes your breath away.
It does.
To hear from him. And I remember when he was in St. Louis, you know, that last day we went and we bought tickets, and someone said, well, what do you think your parents are thinking? And he said, well, I hope my mom's watching, because she never watched me when she was alive. So it like kind of, you know, lightened the moment.
Yeah.
But this is such a big moment for him and really for the whole team, Corey.
Yeah, should be an exciting night. Ilya Malinin, Naumov, Andrew Torgashev rounding out the men's team. A lot of figure skating. They spread it out throughout the Olympics. That's smart. People are very interested in figure skating. So you got the team event, then the men's and the ice dance and the pairs, and the women's cap it off. The women's event caps it off coming up here in a little bit. So we're really getting into figure skating here.
That's what we've been waiting on.
Yes, that's everyone's favorite. I had friends yesterday texting, like, figure skating's on, figure skating's on. Everyone loves it.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Corey.
And admitted his head was flooded with negative thoughts before he performed.
At the Games, sponsored by GMC, we are professional grade.
This week, the women figure skaters will take the ice.
Team USA has a trio of stars who could all stand on the podium, and our Corey Miller is in Milan with their story.
Figure skating can be a lonely sport. After all, it is you on display for the entire world to judge. The United States is not short on individual stars this Olympics, but I have a feeling it's going to be a trio of dynamic American women who end up stealing the show.
I feel like our vibe is very, I don't know, they could make a Blaze of Glory too and we could star in them.
Who knows? Maybe they will end up making a movie based on the 2026 Olympic women's figure skating team. It's a trio that may be the best our country has ever sent to an Olympic Games. U.S. champion Amber Glenn is the elder stateswoman, but going to her first Olympics. World champion Alyssa Liu is back from her 2-year retirement, returning to Olympic competition after her first go-around as a 16-year-old. And 18-year-old Isabeau Levito rounds out the trio. She was the U.S. champion in 2023. And these three together have something special you can't teach: chemistry.
Just such a special trio. I saw like a tweet saying that if only Isabeau was named Ozabo so that it could be AAA. AAA isn't like triple Axel, like it's a thing. It's kind of cool and funny. We're such different people with different personalities, and I feel like we click so well in that way.
I don't remember like all the teams, so we can't say for sure, but we got a pretty good team, I will say. I love them so much, and like, I know we're gonna have a blast.
Figure skating can be an individual sport most of the time, but this trio is very clearly taking on the Olympics together.
It's so interesting because I met Alyssa when she was really young, and I got to see her rise to success at such a young age and, you know, go to the Olympics. And then she retired. And then Isabel came in and she won a national title before I did. And then, of course, having them both together is a bit chaotic, but it's so fun. And I'm just so grateful that they allow me to be able to, I don't know if mentor them's the right word, because they're both very successful, even more qualified than me in some regards, athletes that I'm just happy that we're on the same team.
I've known Amber since I was probably like 10 or something. I used to like pretend like this is my mom, like Amber, like she's my mother. Like it would be like a joke.
All three will have a legitimate chance to make the podium in Milan, and they will be each other's biggest cheerleaders as they go for gold.
We're such mature, intelligent individuals, and we're able to understand that we all have the shared goal of performing our best.
Reporting from Milan, Corey Miller, 5 on your side.
And Corey will have another report tonight at 10, and you can look for his live reports every morning on Today in St. Louis. And tonight, Olympics primetime.
At the Games, sponsored by GMC. We are professional grade.
All right, well, one of the most anticipated events of the Olympics gets underway tonight, and that is women's individual figure skating.
A lot of people will be tuning in for that. Our Corey Miller joins us live, and he has more. Hi, Corey.
Hey guys, yeah, I know we've been talking a lot of hockey these mornings, but tonight, one of the biggest events of the Olympics gets underway, the women's individual figure skating. There are going to be a lot of eyes on the action this evening. Alyssa Liu and Amber Glenn, well, they already have gold medals this Olympics from the team competition earlier on in the Olympics, but they're looking to add to their trophy case as part of this competition as well. The short program is tonight with the free skate coming up on Thursday. Of course, Amber and Alyssa are part of the Blade Angels trio along with Isabeau Levito. They've kind of stolen the hearts of the United States so far, and we got to see them up close and personal in St. Louis for the U.S. Championships. Glenn is looking to bounce back from an uncharacteristic performance in the team event. Liu making her individual Olympic return after her first time at the Olympics as a 16-year-old last time, and Levito's going to be honoring her Italian roots with her program, and she also actually has family still living here in Milan, including her grandmother, and they will be in the audience. She gets to perform in front of them. It will be a highly anticipated night on the ice.
I just need to be confident in myself and my capabilities and all the hard work that I've put in over the years and not let any outside sources distract me. I think a lot of us come into the games expecting perfection or things to be how we've always dreamed, and if this game shows anything, that's not always the case. So what my coach has always said is just be Amber, just be you, do what you're able to do, because I just need to take it for what it is in that moment and do the best that I can on that day.
I'm really excited that my family in Milan, whom have seen me skate in real life once before when the Grand Prix final was in Torino, will be able to see my skating at my peak, at my highest level, on the world's biggest stage in their backyard. I think that is so just like destined, just crazy, insane. I don't know. I think it's so insane.
At least from the outside, there's a lot of pressure on these American women because this was supposed to be a huge figure skating Olympics for Team USA. It hasn't quite gone that way so far. They won the team gold medal. That was great. Chalk and Bates got silver in that controversial decision in the ice dance. Thought they were going to get gold. Ilya Malinin, of course, we know about that. Probably the most hyped athlete of any country in this Olympics, of any sport, and he got 8th in the men's individual. So the women have a lot riding on them. They're all very talented. All 3 of them could find their way onto a podium in some sort of fashion. So it should be fun to watch over the next couple of days.
Oh, that will be so fun. I do have a hockey question. I know we've been talking all hockey, but we saw in your earlier report that Jason Kelsey was there at the women's game. Were you able to say hi, Corey? Did you sneak a little pic?
Yeah, he was there, and we saw him out in the concourse. No interviews, though. We saw him out and about. So, actually, a cool story with the Kelseys. Kylie and Jason, you know, they're from the Cleveland. Jason and Travis from the Cleveland area. Layla Edwards, a player on the United States women's team. Jason and Travis have helped finance so her family could come watch her play in the Olympics as well. So there's a cool Cleveland connection that our station, NBC station Cleveland's been following along. So, yeah, the Kelseys following along with women's hockey for sure. I know they've done some curling stuff as well. So I'll be looking for them the rest of the way. I would expect they'll be there for the gold medal game as well.
Oh. That's such a cool story.
Absolutely.
Love that.
Okay, well, we have appointments to make with the Olympics today. So much to watch.
Yes, set your alarms. Thank you, Corey.
At the Games, sponsored by GMC. We are professional grade.
Well, unfortunately, figure skating has not been quite as dominant for the United States as many would have hoped coming into these Olympics, and it was another night of drama for the Blade Angels.
I mean, there was so much hype. Okay, let's get over to Corey Miller live in Milan for us. Corey, what happened on the ice?
Yeah, good afternoon from Piazza Fontana. A beautiful day here in Milan, Italy. And let's talk some figure skating. Hasn't gone exactly to plan for the United States so far. They do have a team gold medal, but Chocken Bates in the ice dance got silver. Ilya Malinin, of course, we know about that story, getting 8th in his men's individual event. And last night saw some mixed results for the women as they got their short program underway. The highlight of the night for the American women was Alyssa Liu back in the Olympics for the first time since she was just a 16-year-old last time around. She finished 3rd in the short program behind 2 skaters from Japan, setting her up nicely for the free skate. Remember, she finished 6th in this event at 16 years old 4 years ago. Isabeau Levito also had a decent night, performing in front of her Milan native family. She sits in 8th. The surprise of the night was a stumble for Amber Glenn, the U.S. champion in St. Louis, sits all the way back in 13th place after the short program. Here's what Lou and Levito had to say after night 1.
I feel very good. I feel like I skated with the elegance that I wanted to skate with, and I'm very glad that my Olympic debut looked like that.
I was so happy. I'm so happy. I'm so emotional because this program means so much, and like the fact that I am here at Olympics again after everything that has happened. The past 4 years have been crazy, truly insane, and I think the emotions really got to me because my siblings are out there, my family, and like my best friend, and like I don't know, it's so like I wish I was still out there, you know. So I don't know, I'm really happy and I'm excited to do the free.
So Lou and Levito within striking distance of the podium as we head into the free skate on Thursday. But I cannot imagine the pressure on these athletes, particularly in figure skating. You're out there all by yourself. One little thing that you do wrong that the rest of it thinks looks great, but the judges will take off points here and there, and we just don't see it because we're just normal viewers. There's so much pressure on these figure skaters.
Well, yeah, and we saw that with Ilya Malinin, too. The idea that once you make the mistake, you get into your head and you're trying to make up those points as you are continuing to skate, and that's where sometimes we've heard that the panic sets in from former Olympians talking about that.
Well, I'm curious, Simone Biles we know is there, Corey. I'm curious if she's talking to any of these Olympians when that happens. She knows what that feels like, and it's so heartbreaking to watch them walk off that ice in tears.
I know it.
Yeah, gymnastics and figure skating kind of go together in this kind of mental task it takes to perform in these sports. You're out there by yourself, and it really just comes down to that one moment, make or break. So, yeah, Simone Biles definitely has probably a lot to tell these figure skaters about competing in that moment.
So, wait, quick question. Is Amber Glenn, does she have any chance of being back at the podium? What do you think, Corey?
Well, you're really putting my figure skating knowledge to the test here. But at 13th after the short program, it looks like it's going to be a tough hike to get back there in the top 3. Now, she really did not have that bad of a short program. She even completed, the jump that she was supposed to. She just didn't complete it as much as she had planned out, and so since it didn't go as planned, she got points off for that. So she did land a triple axel, which was really breathtaking last night, but got points off for one of the other things. I'll never understand figure skating scoring. I'll never understand it. So
you're
doing a great job.
You sound like a pro, Corey, but Corey's like, can we talk hockey?
I know.
Ask me all the questions about hockey, which I know we will be talking to you about later. Thanks, Corey.
We just feel so tied to these women because they were here in St. Louis. Oh, gosh. All right. Thanks so much, Corey.
Yeah, I would say 6:15.
At the Games, sponsored by GMC. We are professional grade.
Well, it's perhaps the best story of these Olympics. Alyssa Liu's comeback complete.
Incredible. There was so much going on in the lunch hour yesterday.
Yes.
Our very own Corey Miller is joining us live from Italy with more. Good morning, Corey.
Yeah, good afternoon from Italy, guys. It would be hard to find a better Olympic story this year than Alyssa Liu. She had retired out of the game But then she learned to rediscover her passion, disregard the results, disregard the pressure, and she's going back to the United States as an individual gold medal winner in women's figure skating. What a story. Let's start with Amber Glenn yesterday, also a storyline folks were following. She had some redemption from her short program performance. She roared back with a huge night in the free skate and finished 5th overall. Good for Amber. Lou, though, she's the big story. The first American woman to win individual figure skating gold since Sarah Hughes did it 24 years ago at the 2002 Salt Lake Games. Lou is still 4 years away from being born at that point. Lou posted the highest score in the free skate and jumped both of the Japanese competitors in front of her to claim the gold medal. Just a tremendous comeback story for the ages.
I mean, I'm just so happy with my performance tonight. It was everything I wanted it to be, and I'm glad that I was hyped, the crowd was hyped, and I just remembered to breathe through it. I mean, I hope that I'm inspiring the kids to be more out there and make decisions that some people won't agree with, because that's how you have to be sometimes. I mean, it was just incredible. I genuinely wish I was still out there.
So Lou's actually coming home with 2 gold medals, because if you'll remember, she was part of the team event that won gold for the Americans also earlier this Olympics. Now, of course, like almost everything here at these games, there's a St. Louis component to this story. Lou's hair, everybody talking about her hair, it's quite interesting looking, pretty cool. Guess what? She gets a new ring in each of those every couple of years. The last one she got was in St. Louis when they had the U.S. Figure Skating Championships here. So a little St. Louis connection to one of the biggest stars at the Olympics. And hey, maybe that little hair adjustment here in St. Louis helped put her over the top. I'm going to claim it for our town.
You should, and we have a little bit more on that story as well, that breaking news from our official hair person, Michelle Lee. Listen to this, Corey.
Well, no, I did that story first because I saw it online. I was so excited. Yes, I was trying to get the whole newsroom to do it, but no one did it. So I did
remember?
on Instagram. Yes.
Do you remember?
I'm a little bitter about it because I was like, it's huge.
That is a big deal, and we're all like, okay, yeah, we're moving on.
Yeah, I know. But can I just say also, Alyssa Lou's story is so wonderful, but I was also very pleased about Amber Glenn because it just seemed like she had so much resilience yesterday.
It did.
I was really hoping she would get to the podium. You know, I knew it was going to be really hard. Everyone knew that, but she did awesome too. All of our women should be so proud of themselves.
Think about how impressive this was for Amber Glenn. She was 13th. After the first night of competition, she finished 5th. That just shows how good she was yesterday. And she's going home with a gold too. She was part of the team event, so she's not going home empty-handed, and had a strong finish to be pleased with too.
Yeah, it was wonderful. I mean, yesterday was a really great day. If you were into the Olympics at all, yesterday was the day to watch.
Patriotism, the activities, there wasn't as much curling, so these were all a lot of big hits. Hey, do you think Amber Glenn will be in the next Olympics? How does that,
She's 26 now, isn't she?
Yeah, older.
What do you think, Corey?
That's tough. She is on the older end for a figure skater, but never say never. If you want to do it and you're still in competing form, you go ahead and do it. I'm never counting any of these Olympians out. We've seen, a lot of older Olympians from an athletic scale. You say older, they're not old by any stretch of the imagination, but for an Olympian, come out here and give it a try and have success sometimes. So I wouldn't count anybody out.
Yeah. All right.
Great job, man.
Thanks so much, Corey. Really appreciate it.
I'm going to miss these little chats.